was whatchamacallit first. Then it became a candy bar.
All right. Well, we're going back on, and we are hopefully live. We might have to refresh your screen.
I'm surprised you don't remember that because you used to love Ernest.
What?
You.
Ernest. Ernest who?
Like Ernest Goes to Camp?
Yeah.
No, I hated Ernest.
What
No,
are we
you loved
talking
Ernest.
about? How did we get to Ernest?
I have no idea.
Whatchamacallit candy bars.
How did that get?
How does that get to Ernest?
I have no.
You
I,
had
have
to be
no
here to figure it out.
I was here, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was here too. I also don't know what you're talking about.
Because Ernest used to advertise, I think it was Mountain Dew.
Well, but again,
And
there's
I
still a
always
different product
associated
altogether than what you're
whatchamacallit to
talking
Mountain
about.
Dew. And then when took me to Ernest, and then I remember one time when Chuck was little, he thought that those commercials were hilarious for Ernest.
So it turns out that the best thing to happen to the stream was for us to go offline, is what you're saying. Hopefully this works. I think we're back. But I can't tell.
Oh, heck.
Let me pull it up. Yes, we seem to be live.
Yeah, I guess so.
I hate to artificially inflate our numbers.
Artificially inflate them, because right now we're at 0. Even though I'm on here. I don't know if this is working or not.
Oh, it was Mellow Yellow that Ernest was promoting. Because it was Mellow Yellow versus Mountain Dew, and I'm pretty sure he was promoting Mellow Yellow.
Well, I've never liked Mellow Yellow, so
But you liked Ernest.
apparently, I guess.
Well, I'm glad we figured that out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we're back. We're back. All right.
You should watch some of those commercials, and you'll probably come back to you.
Don't bother.
You can find them on YouTube.
All right. Anyway, we are back. You guys are at the beach. Don't know where you are, how you got there. Flint tells you you're at Calaman Bay.
We're in Calaman?
Yes.
Can we order some drinks here? Are we going?
It's
Is there
Isn't that-
full
Oh, do they have
service?
they have the bar service at the beach there?
it's
That'd be
not
nice,
even
yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning yet, fellas.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
After what we've been through, we deserve a drink.
I mean, we don't remember what we went through, but
That's how
I'm
traumatic
sure.
it
I'm
was.
sure it was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Look at the clothes we're wearing. It's kids.
Yes, aren't they
It's
wonderful?
good.
It's about time you all decided to get some fashion sense.
I mean, who's ever thought spandex was in?
Yeah, it's a great. Some of the greats of my era really got into this spandex thing.
Anyway, why don't we go back to the inn that my fellows and I are staying at? We can discuss more there. However, I will say that I'm not sure what has happened with you since we split up at Tarsus, but the war continues, and we are...
Well, we know.
Yes, I'm sure. We are working toward advancing the fight. We have armies at our disposal now.
So the war's done. We can go home.
No, not yet, I'm afraid. But hopefully soon, lad. Hopefully soon.
We could have used an army earlier. Ow.
Yeah, well,
We had an army. It was Feldspar and me, and Vantillis, and Garel, and Ergrin. The rest of them, not so much.
Elliston says, "Hey."
Who's that guy?
Wait a minute. Who's talking again?
Well, let us go. We'll be meeting this evening with the Whitestone Council, and we'll. I'll fill you into what has been happening on my end, and you can do the same. Although, Garel, I think it fair to tell you that Lorana has been kidnapped by the Blue Lady, and Kurlithlan. He stops for a second.
Well,
He was murdered by her at the High Claris Tower. Her and her
wait,
dragon.
What?
Yes.
I can't believe I can't believe she would kill him.
From what I know of this
Like-
Blue Lady, she is vicious, vile, truly evil.
And then he leans in close. He goes, "She is Kit."
And he pushes you away. And he says, "What did you say?"
I know. I couldn't believe it myself, but I've seen her. I spoke to her. It's Kitiara. The Blue Lady is Kitiara.
And you can see him, like, his face really, like, getting flushed.
Yeah.
And red with anger. And then he just sort of holds onto his arm right around his bicep and rubs it a little bit and starts to immediately look pale.
Oh, jeez. Girl grabs him by both of his shoulders.
I'm fine.
He didn't really mean it. I think we can save her.
I think I can. I was talking to her, Flint. I think she was lied to, betrayed. I don't know, but she is the Blue Lady. But I think if we can talk her out of it, she wants to take over the dragon armies.
That doesn't sound like somebody who's ready to be talked out of her situation.
I think it's that
She's
damn
got
Death Knight.
That's true. Soth is with her too.
We gotta get her. We gotta get them away.
Yes.
Kill Soth. Get my daughter back. Get Kit back.
Well. Okay. We'll figure this out. We'll do what needs to be done to save your family, Burke, and maybe save Kitiara as well. But I saw what she did to Kurlithlan up on those battlements. She
Are
took
you
his.
sure he's dead?
Well, she took the body, but he was fighting against both her and this dragon. I saw him fall with my own eyes.
Girl just shakes his
Now,
head.
she told you when you last saw her that Kurlithlan was alive. For whatever that's
Oh,
worth.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
And then he'll say, but she told me that he is still alive.
And you believed her.
She was happy to see me. She didn't know I was alive. She talked about getting me into the dragon army on her, with her. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't think she lied to me. I don't think she wants us dead. She wants to kill the head of the army. What was his name again?
Ariakis.
Ariakis. She wants to kill Ariakis and take over. And I was trying to talk to her about let's kill Ariakis, but then let the armies die. Like, don't. She doesn't need to be one of them. I was trying to convince her. But then I had to flee.
Well.
And now I'm here.
Well, maybe we can use this to our favor. The gods have reunited us for a reason. let's head back. We'll make introductions to the others. And then we'll meet with the Whitestone Council and see what information they have for us. There's a good man now leading the knights. His name is Lord Gunther Uthwistan. I know you all have had well, I'm sure a dangerous journey. There won't be too much time to rest up, but I'll see to it that we give you as much as we can. And for those willing to continue the fight, well, I'm sure there's work for you.
Everybody, the camera zooms in at Elliston, who's just quietly slinking away.
I'm pretty sure I'm part of the Whitestone Council. I maybe missed a few sessions, but I'll probably just stay here and help lead from afar. That sounds good.
But is there clothing we could acquire here?
Why would you need something different? We're all
I kind of like
splendidly,
this.
and most of us are actually suitable for court.
It's true. You are more suitable for court than you've ever been in most of your lives, except for Ventelis and Stonemoss. They're just as suited as they have been, although, like I said, a bit out of fashion.
So I go back to my former question. Just common clothes.
Yes, we can. I'm sure find you some more reasonable attire and armor.
Some axes.
Yes, although it seems like you have some weapons. Some of you have weapons with you. But yes, we can certainly outfit you in whatever you need.
Speaking of which, I've left my hammer.
Huh.
Aren't you able to just recall it? Many
No.
fighters from my era could simply just recall their weapons if they left them behind.
Oh, stop.
Oh, that's serious. It was very common.
You talk of children's tales. And you just wave.
I hold out my hand and try to recall the flask that Dugan gave me.
It actually
it works
all
with flasks,
as
that
you're
would
sitting
be
there,
great.
it flies through the air and lands right in your hand.
Oh, it does work.
What?
It was a magic.
Corell
flash.
holds both hands out, waiting for his hammer.
Doesn't happen. But
Damn it!
Flint says, another warning I should probably give you, Gorell. Speaking of that hammer, do you remember the Minotaur you got it off of?
Oh, yes, it's a great story. I love telling that story.
Well, you might not want to tell it too often because he's at the inn.
He just laughs.
And with
Whoa.
that, we are going to take a very quick break. And then we will be back and we'll cut to the inn as they head to the Whitestone Council. Just to see if there's anything they want to connect with any of the other characters about. But anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with us on D&D Fridays for Atomic Peter, but it presents DragonLance: Dragons of Truth, Part 1. And this is the beginning of the end.
Dun, dun, dun.
Game 1 of 100.
And with that, we will be right back. And we are back. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Atomic Peanut Butter presents DragonLance: Dragons of Truth, Part 1. As we plan our final episode in Thailand on a small boat heading out to sea. We will have, so make sure you're here and tell your friends, we will have giveaways. When the last episode will be, who can tell right now? But in the next few months, we will know more and more, and we will go through what cool giveaways we have. There's some Dragonlance stuff. There's some other random shit that I found in my bookshelf. There's
Adam's having a garage sale.
That's
whatever doesn't sell, he's gonna send to you.
That's basically how my giveaways
There's
work.
a box of toenail clippings.
I'll sign them.
I have a mostly used bottle of hand sanitizer.
Anyway, so check that out, and follow us, of course, here and on YouTube and on Facebook / Wicked Studios 11, which is Will's Facebook page. We'll also be giving away a couple of things that Will wrote that I happen to have in my bookshelf. So you can have some of your very own. Anyway, but let's get back down to it. You guys are at a very nice inn in Kalaman, the Kalaman Arms. Because I didn't come up with a name before then. That's the best I can do right now. And the first thing you see Jadek is Gorell Nightfoot walk into your room. You guys have like a big suite at this inn. There's like 2 suites, so most of you are hanging out in like this little common area inside this suite. Getting ready, having some breakfast, and preparing for this meeting for the Whitestone Council. And who walks in but Gorell Nightfoot, Flint Fireforge, and some other people. I'm trying to think if anybody else knows, and the 2 knights are not there yet. But no one knows anybody else, I don't think, right? Because who else do we have? We have Sir Earl. No, we don't have Sir Earl. Who's the other one? Fogsong. He doesn't know any of these other characters. Thea doesn't know any of these other characters. Well, she's probably heard tales of them, is my guess. What do you think, Gary?
Makes sense. Yep.
She's
heard of their exploits.
Yeah, through her bardic connections. And then Jadek, yeah, so nobody would really know, and I don't think there's... Do you guys have any NPCs in that group? Just Sir Tasselhoff Burfoot.
I'm sure he knows everybody.
Yeah, he would have met most of you also in that, who were in Tarsus anyway, which again, there's not too many. So Elliston, Gorell, he would know. Ergrin, he would know. But that would be about it, I guess.
Is Tasselhoff native of Solus?
No. He's just been around. They met Tasselhoff with the Knights in Tarsus.
Okay.
And he has since been knighted. So... Sir Aaron Tallball found a loophole in the measure and knighted him while drunk one night.
Would Ergrin know?
Yeah.
The others? Yeah.
Well, no, not all of them. He would just know whoever was in Tarsus, which there's not too many people left from Tarsus.
Okay.
Because the knights are all dead, every one of them. So Tasselhoff would be the only one that he would, and Flint, I guess maybe he would know in passing. They probably connected. You guys didn't spend a lot of time together either with this other group, so. But anyway, Jadek Garel walks into the room.
Jadek.
This is your chance to have a conversation with yourself. See what it's like.
I was thinking about that. How am I going to do this?
That's
Okay.
I have that same problem every week, and now it's your turn.
You gotta shave one side of your face.
Yeah, and then just turn back and forth as you're talking.
Completely around. Okay, got it. All right, so Jadek walks in. No, I mean Jadek's sitting there, and Garel. Oh, this is gonna get confusing. Garel walks in, and they lock eyes, and Jadek stands up and goes right up to Garel and says, "I have never forgotten you." And Garel opens up his arms. He goes, "I haven't forgotten you either. I tell this story all the time." And he's like, "Fuck you," and he hits him. Jadek hits Garel. Like, I mean, he's been drinking, so it's not like all of his force.
He's been drinking since what time did he wake up this morning?
Sure.
Morning? I don't know about that.
He woke up with a half a bottle in his hand and just
finished it off. Fair enough. You know what? Talk about getting a good. You're in Kalaman. You know, you got a couple days off.
That's right.
Enjoy them, I guess. Roll me. Just roll me your damage. Chris Andrew make them fighting each other. Roll for initiative.
All right, Jadek's rolling for damage of an unarmed strike, I suppose.
Yeah.
What am I wanting? Just a D20?
But it's definitely not 20. I mean, unless you.
Oh.
I mean, I guess he wasn't paying attention. But give me a D4 plus all your other proficiency and strength modifiers.
All right, so that's a 4.
What's your strength?
Hang on, Jadek. I got the wrong one up. Jadek, his strength is 10.
He has plus 10 to his strength, or is it
Plus 0.
plus 0?
No,
His modifier is not 10.
No, I'm sorry. His modifier is 5.
5.
What?
All right.
How does he have a 10 and a 5 modifier? Are you sure?
Well,
it's
I'm
not
looking at.
20?
I just looked at saving throws. That's what I was looking at.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
But his yeah.
So 9. What's your you're a higher level than Garel is. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So what's your
he's a 12.
proficiency?
His proficiency is where is that? Oh,
It'd be a plus 10 then.
yeah,
So it's 5.
Okay.
yeah.
So 14 total damage.
14 damage.
So you just smack him right in the nose for 14 damage. Does Garel do anything?
Garel is Garel rolls with the punch because he kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, it still
And then
hurt
he
like a
just-
son of a bitch, though.
I'm sure it still hurt. He comes back up and his lip is bloody.
He's
And
like,
he just kind of wipes it off, and he still smiles at him. And he's like, "Girl goes, after what I've been through, I'll take that as a warm welcome." And offers him his hand to shake.
and they do the predator
Yeah.
handshake.
No, no, the handshake heard around the world. No. Jadek smacks his hand and looks right at Flint, and he's like, "Only because of what we've been through." And Flint looks at him. He goes, "Oh, you need to get over it. You need to get over this." Yes, he won your hammer, and then Flint turns to everybody else. Garel, beat Jadek and won his hammer, and Jadek is still sore about it. Jadek's like, "Why you gotta tell people my shit?" And pulls down a couple more slugs out of the bottle.
What does Elliston say, Chad? Keep going. Let's see. and don't forget, and don't forget Urgrin.
Urgrin's got just lit up another lucky strike. Let's see. Yeah, why do you gotta tell people my shit?
Tasselhoff Burfoot chimes in and says, "Where's the hammer now?"
And Gurel says, "Well, I left it behind." And before he could finish, Jad's like, "You left it behind?
Was this some sort of magical hammer that everyone's fighting over?"
It's a good warhammer. It's a good. And he goes, "Mallet." He's like, "No, it's a hammer." And they go back and forth a little bit, but in the end, they definitely he calms Jadek down. It's like, "Listen, we're all on the same side here." And then he's like, "I just found out who the blue lady is," and Jadek's like, "Who?" He's like, "My sister." And Jadek looks at him and goes, "Well, shit, you need a drink," and pours him out a cup from his bottle.
Agreemist is on the piano, and you just hear dun, 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 dun.
And they start to trade stories. Jadek and Gurel start to trade stories, knowing that Gurel does not have his hammer anymore. It kind of makes him feel a little better.
At least neither of them have it.
At least neither of them. But Jadek has his own hammer now. Remember, he was able to pick up a hammer on his own, and he casually puts that on the table as he's talking, as if he's not even paying attention to what he's doing. He's just continuing his story.
Now, was that hammer magical, or is that just another mundane hammer?
No, I believe it was let me double check.
And it makes Jadek feel better. And Gurel did use that hammer over the Vorpal sword more times than not, and then still not hit anyone.
Right. No, it's just a regular. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's +3.
That's not regular, by the way.
Okay.
That's a pretty good.
A little magical.
That's
magical.
great.
A little bit. Just a touch.
Humble brag.
Yeah.
Humble brag. And yeah, so he puts that on the table, and Gurel's like, "Well, where did you get that?" He's like, "Oh, that's a story." And they just start going back and forth telling stories over a bottle of rum.
That's 7 in the morning.
It's 7 in the morning.
All right, so they'll be drunk for the count. So let's remember
7.
this.
It's only 7 there. It's 7 in the evening somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's Chuck? What's the name of the island where the Minotaur are from?
Mythos.
Mythos. Yeah, I should have gotten that one. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock there.
There you go.
Chris Andrew cheers 200 bits, 1 each to Gurel and Jadek. Nicely done, Kim Chan. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Thank you. I'll take it.
And that is a good point. If you are cheering bits from here on out, we have 2 casts of characters, so please let the players know.
I see what you're doing.
What character you are cheering for. Because the bits are going to be held by character, not by player. All right, so unless there's anything anybody wants to do during the rest of the morning / early afternoon,
Find some armor and some clothing.
yeah, they'll get you anything like that you need, and basically you can either get regular armor, and like a +1 cloak and or ring of protection, or ring of protection. I shouldn't say you don't get both. That was a slip up there. Or you can get like a +1 armor. And those of you who don't wear armor can get like a +1 cloak or robe or ring. And does everybody else have magic items? I know the group that we had been playing just each got something.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have one, you can have a +1 of some weapon that you would use.
Does an orb of dragon count as a magic item?
That doesn't exist in this world. It is called just a dragon orb. And yes, it is a
Dragon orb.
magic item, but no, you can't have one.
I already have one.
Oh, that's right. You do have one. That's I forgot about that. We're going to have to get back into that soon, too. I'm assuming that you have taken time over the last few weeks that you were at the High Clerist's Tower after the battle to continue to study it.
Yeah, I and the blue guy have been doing nothing but.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So that
Pondering the orb? Okay.
Yeah. Using Tasselhoff's glasses and the
That's
gloves
right.
and
Yeah. So that helps. Okay. Yeah. So you'll have better chances of using it as we go along, but that will be helpful. Eventually, there is a knock on the door, and it is Sir Rick Cordwood, who is there to tell the group that the council is awaiting them. And none
Right
of you,
this way, heroes.
yeah, none of you know Rick Cordwood yet.
Thank you, valet.
You're welcome, sir.
As you get to the central palace, I'm going to read you some box text, and then Michael, make sure you have your thing ready.
Okay.
The fresh breeze from the bay drifts cool over the great port city of Kalaman and across the balcony into the central palace. Within, curtains to the great round council hall drift lazily with the ebb and flow of the air. The great doors to the south are open, admitting those unlikely heroes, those are you guys, who have served throughout the struggle on Krynn. The Lord of the Council, which is Sir Gunther Uthwastan, stands and addresses the assemblage. I'm going to move to a different map here. Right now, you guys just see the cover for Dragons of Truth. We are going to show the council members, if this works. Oof, which one is it? That has Derek Crownguard in it, so he's dead. That's not the right one then. So it's this one. So, see, we have a big council, much bigger than what is in the books or modules, because we have collected different council members over the course of the time that you guys have been playing, representing the people that you have involved in the war. You guys have done a pretty good job somehow not offending too many of the different factions among Krynn, especially since Zane stopped talking at councils. You guys have been doing pretty well since then. So we have the people of the North, which consists of Seren Marthasel from Solamnia, Elliston, and we still have good old Hederic of the old Seekers. We have the Plains... Oh, sorry, we also have Theros Ironfeld, of the silver-armed blacksmith, who has joined the council as well, as he has been in charge of making more of the dragon lances, along with the proteges that he has put together. And Marita, who you guys rescued from Pax Tharkist. She was one of the refugees there. One of the few that didn't die during your saving of them. And she is also on the council. We have the Plainsmen. You got a dude called Briar from the Kaikiri tribe. And from the Keishu tribe, you have Gold Moon and Riverwind. By the way, Riverwind's just a great guy. Just going to throw that out there right off the bat.
Everybody loves River.
Just a great guy. For the elves, we have from the Sylvanesti, we have Lady Marathanos, who Saren Foxsong. Nope, the other guy. What's his name?
Stonemoss.
Oh no, Saren Foxsong. I was right the
Oh
first
no,
time.
Saren Fogsong self-appointed himself the ambassador. Yeah.
Right, to her, like her ambassador in particular, I believe.
Yes.
So anyway, so she is on the council representing the Sylvanesti. For the
Gives her a, hey.
Yeah, Chris Andrews says, who doesn't like Riverwind? Only Swift Fox. And Swift Fox is dead, so now there's literally no one who doesn't love Riverwind. From the Qualinesti, we have, Lorana, who would be on there, but she is currently missing. We have Gilthanis, and we have Lady Okara, who was Zarek and Zane's mother. They are representing the Qualinesti elves, and Portheos in particular, who is still with his people. For the mages, we have white-robed, the leader of the white-robed mages, Parsalian. From the Kender, we have Sir Tasselhoff Burfoot. The dwarves, we have the mountain dwarves representative Armin Karas, who some of you know, certainly Gorel would know, from Thorbarden, and from the hill dwarves, Duncan Hammerrock. I came so close to saying Hammercock, but that is not his name.
That's you said it anyway.
That's just what they called him at night, if you know what I mean. From the Gnomish representative of the collective guilds from Mount Nevermind, is a gnome called Nash. His name is much longer than that, but that is what everybody seems to call him. They've just cut it down to the first four letters. And the islands of Ergoth, Mir Carthan, who those of you who were at the original Whitestone Council will remember as well. And then there are some special envoys, which supposedly are on their way as well, but we will get to them momentarily. So, Lord Gunther...
Does Flint know Duncan Hammerrock?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he would know him. And Burke, probably too. Sedge, is Feldspar a hill or a mountain dwarf?
Hill, I believe.
Yeah, so you probably would have at least you know the family
Yes,
name if
Hill.
you don't know him.
Yeah.
Lord Gunther makes the introduction. Why aren't the Gully dwarves represented? Gully, Chris just said. Well, the group did murder 30 of them, so that is why they are not represented here in the council. That is not a group that they won over. In fact, they are the sworn enemy of Gully dwarves. If anyone comes across the Gully dwarf, they will attack on sight. Lord Gunther makes the introductions to all of the characters, which we won't go through here. Everybody takes their seat. Lord Gunther remains standing and says, "Ladies, gentlemen, and others, welcome to the Whitestone Council. We are joined by two groups of people. One we have come to know well, as they have defended the High Clerist's Tower, the heroes of the Lance. And the other group, based on their exploits fighting the dragon armies in the eastern coast of Ansalon, and in saving the ancient homeland of Sylvanisty elves, I give you the heroes of legend. We are at a very important moment in history. Today we stand at the precipice of either victory or defeat at the hands of our enemy. We have done our best to put our petty differences behind us and band together to defeat the dragon armies, reclaim the lands that they have taken, and avenge the deaths that they have caused for all our people. The Knights of Solamnia are ready to stand side by side, the Ergothians, the Plainsmen, the Ice Folk. Oh, I forgot about the Ice Folk. Anna, Sir Earl's sister, is the representative from the Ice Folk, and of course for the Knights of Solamnia on the council is Sir Gunther Uthwistan. The Ergothians, the Plainsmen, the Ice Folk, the Dwarves, both hill and mountain, the Elves, Sylvanisty, Qualinesti, and Kaganesti, the Gnomes of Mount Nevermind, in this dangerous endeavor. Don't forget the Kender, we stand beside you as well. Why, I already sent a letter to my cousin, Glus Bunderbluss, who is a very accomplished general in the Kendermore army. You see, he is my third cousin, twice removed on my mother's side. Yes, and of course the Kender, how could I forget? However, while our armies are ready, we have been provided some additional intelligence from a very reliable set of spies. At that, Gunther looks up at the skies, out the window. The rest of the council and those in attendance follow his gaze and see a huge silver dragon circling above. As the majestic creature slowly glides to the ground, a rider can be seen upon her back. Unlike the knights, who have been trained to use dragon saddles to keep them from falling off the creatures, this figure is riding bareback. As it were, the DragonLance and everyone in attendance can't help but admiring the beauty and the danger of riding this creature bareback. Of the creature, glistening in the sunlight. The man riding her, as it were, climbs down, and once he does, the dragon magically shifts and turns into a beautiful Kaganesti elf maiden with long silver hair. After a few moments, the two enter the room. Lord Gunther says, "May I introduce Silvara of the Kaganesti and Sir Earl of the Ice Folk." He turns to them and says, "Please tell the others what you have discovered." The elf maiden looks uncomfortable with the attention, and her human companion walks closer to her and gently holds her hand. And he says to her quietly,
"It's okay, my love. Here, take my jacket."
She smiles at that and clears her throat and says, she's expecting when she says jacket, she doesn't know if it's going to be a coat or just a condom.
His long leather coat that he always wears.
He's got a duster.
He's got a leather duster, yes.
Lord Uthwistan, Council, Heroes of Lance and Legend, my name is Silvara. For those who don't know me, I am a silver dragon, but have lived among the Kaganesti people for over 300 years. The metallic dragons, my people, had entered into a pact with the chromatic dragons. We were to leave the affairs of Kryn to the other species, but the pact was broken by the evil chromatic dragons as they used our eggs to create the Draconians by terrible means. They killed our children. She looks to Sir Earl. I'm sorry, I can't go on. Sir Earl gently touches her cheek, looks her in the eyes, and smiles.
You never need to apologize to me, beloved.
He kisses her on the head and then looks out to the group.
We have spent the last few months spying on dragon armies and found a base of operations. South of Taman Bussock and south of Sanksha, the Lords of Doom is a city hastily made of wooden structures surrounding a black, large temple. The city, Naraka. We believe the temple to be that of the god Takesis.
Saren Marthassel, a noble from the north, interrupts. And how do you know this?
If you stop interrupting, I will explain it all. Thank you. Sit down.
Who are you to speak of me this way? Speak to me this way. I can't even speak
Me?
myself.
I am but a simple cobbler. Speaking of which, it does look like you could use some new shoes. Long trip, was it? Speak to me after the council. I'll see what I can do for you.
Please, Lord Gunther interrupts. Let us be civil and just get on with it.
Of course. As to how we were able to infiltrate Naraka, well, that did take a bit of magic and a bit of luck and a little bit of thoughts and prayers. Silvara was able to magically change the color of her scales from silver to blue, allowing her to fly into the city without suspicion. Then, I stumbled upon a blue dragon officer. He was passed out drunk. I took his uniform as he was similar build, and well, there you go, instant spies. What we uncovered there, however, is both a grand opportunity and an extremely dangerous situation. You see, we saw it from a distance was horrifying. There's writhing black snakes. They're not snakes. It's across the barren plain toward the only building within 100 miles. That temple of the Queen of Darkness. It looked as though hundreds of vipers were slithering down the mountainside. When we got closer, they were not vipers. These are the dragon armies. Thousands. All of them, red, blue, black, green, white, are all to meet in Naraka. There's going to be a meeting led by their human leader, Ariakis, where they plan to take over all of Corinne. That's all of where we live, and for those of you who don't know, they're planning on just taking everything. But, and here's the bad part. Ariakis, not the only guy that's going to be there. From what we understand, the Dark Queen herself is planning on coming. You know, Takesis, maybe you've heard of her. Well, anyway, she won't try to leave the Abyss and enter this world, and if that happens, well, I don't need to explain it even to you slow people what the hell that she will unleash upon the lands of Corinne.
Yes, thank you for that, Sir Earl. And that is where you, the heroes of the lance and legend, come in, or so I hope. We have asked so much of you already, I wouldn't ask any more of you if our time wasn't so desperate and our need less great. Marthassel stands up again. Lord Gunther, you windbag, sit and let us get on with this. Our problem is simple. The solution is somewhat more difficult. The High Lord army is now pressed back into its homeland, but it has just burst through our lines with the use of great flying castles. You may be our last hope in this struggle. The dragon army will destroy us in a few weeks unless you can somehow manage to overthrow them. You must enter the heart of evil and bring it down. We have developed several plans for your consideration. Riverwind, if you would. Riverwind stands there, and there's like a gentle breeze blowing his hair seductively. And he says, Hi there. Good to see so many familiar faces again. Truly is an honor. His teeth gleaming in the sunlight. Well, the first plan involves disguising good dragons to appear evil. We have 4 large and old silver dragons upon which we can create the illusion that they are black or blue. These are sufficient to take some of you on the mission. Second plan involves disguising you as merchants. There have been many merchants passing into the Dragon Empire lands of late, and this may be a disguise for you. We have 3 merchant wagons with supplies ready. A third plan involves disguising you as members of the Dragon Army. We have 12 uniforms captured from mercenaries in the course of battle, but we have no knowledge of which units they belong to or how their command structure works. Armenkaris from the Mountain Dwarves then stands up and interrupts. Ah, nonsense, what folly. These are the greatest heroes of our age, and you wish to risk it all on such contrivances? I say stealth is the best answer. Soft steps by night is the way into Naraka. Send out our only hope into the enemy lands in a creaking supply wagon or broadcast their arrival on painted-up silver dragons? Bah! Lord Gunther then adds, well, whatever happens, we can only get your group behind enemy lines. It is up to you to choose how you will make the journey. Regardless, my suggestion is to split your number in two, so this way if one group gets caught, the other will still have a chance to succeed. What do you say? I think he's
I'm
talking
in.
to you.
I think it's a great part.
Well then, why are we sitting around here wasting time? We have much to do and little time to do it.
Yes,
So
well,
Which plan are we using?
that's the
Stealth.
question, yes.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Say we fly in upon these dragons and wreak havoc.
Again, some of you can drive. Again, there are quite a few of you here. So there'll be
We can pick two plans.
two plans. Or you could pick two of the plans that we've suggested, or come up with one of your own. Or two of your own.
Or two
for
of
that
our
matter.
own.
Yes.
Just two completely new
Well, I
plans.
think the blue guy and I
What if we
wanna be on
tunnel
dragons.
underneath them?
I don't care what the rest of you people are doing. The blue guy and I, we're getting on a dragon.
So that's the dead group.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to make some...
I think I would prefer to stay upon land myself. A merchant caravan does seem quite agreeable to me. I believe one of them seems to be a nice, sane alternative.
A wagon sounds like a nice alternative to me to all this marching around. For sure.
Exactly. This is too much walking. Quite frankly, I'm used to a much more civilized era where we had things like wagons, and I'm glad to see that we still have some here. Although I do notice they don't hover themselves.
Stone Moss wants a wagon ride.
Yes.
Yeah, if they would open their gates to us, why
Why?
not walk in?
How much stone do you see in the air? I mean, honestly, where am I going to sleep?
I figure you just pack a rock.
All right, so
But
so
that would
far...
be interesting. You take a boulder up on a dragon, embed yourself into the boulder. Dragon flies over castle, drops boulder, smashes in. Exit
See, I'm
boulder.
coming up with a plan here.
All right, this Plan D, we'll call this one. All right, well, so far
Plan
we
D
have...
for drop.
So far we have Fog Song voting for dragons, Stone Moss
And
for
the blue guy.
merchants. And blue guy, yes, of course.
Feldspar was for merchant disguise.
Athea is not going to pass up a chance to, go flying on a fleet of dragons. So,
Yeah, same with Gurel. Gurel is definitely on board flying a dragon, riding a dragon.
Flint is not. I've
Flint
done
is
it.
not.
I am not going back on one of those crazy beasts.
Burke is going to side with Gorell. Viewing that as his best option to get his daughter back.
All right. To the dragons, you say?
Yes.
All right.
He'll set.
And I forgot, Lord Gunther also would say there are also two of my order that I would like to send with you. Sir Kerwin Uth Farnan and Sir Rick Cordwood. How many gestures for you guys to enter?
Steps forward. It would be my honor to ride upon a dragon
And
into glorious battle.
I thought you were the valet.
I could do two things.
Oh boy, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel, aren't we?
well, yikes! I mean, he is a highly you can say that you can tell he's a highly decorated knight.
I will accompany the merchants.
I think Jadek is also gonna ride the dragons because he wouldn't pass for merchants as a minotaur.
The Jadek cannot ride the dragons. You can only have one of your characters ride a dragon, and then the other will be with the merchants.
Fine. Then Jadek will ride the dragon, and Garel will this time stick with Flint and ride with the merchants.
Burke and Kerwin look at each other funny for a second.
Would you mind switching?
Flip around. It's a little shuffle.
All right. So Kerwin on the dragon, Burke the merchant caravan. Vantellis, I guess, was going with the merchants.
Yeah, he'll be going with the merchant caravan.
I don't care how much you want to go with the merchants. You're flying with me on a dragon now. Shh. Blue guy thinks he wants to be a merchant now, but I don't think so.
That's a blue guy.
Are we missing?
He doesn't need his own dragon. He'll just fly along beside. It's fine.
Barum is
Oh yeah, what's this guy's team?
you know that he's
This guy's important, right?
yeah, you know that he is somewhat he's obviously very important to this war, either ending it or one way or the other, but you haven't quite figured out how at this point. So he will just come with the merchants.
Is that the guy with the green glowing gem?
Yeah, since he knows all of those people. And the other well, let me ask Michael, what is Saren and Silvara going to do? Are they going to be part of the attack with the Whitestone armies, which consists of obviously all of the people that are part of this but Whitestone Council, their armies, as well as there are good dragons that will be fighting amongst their ranks as well. So will they be fighting with the armies, or will they be coming with the PCs?
I think Searle and would probably want to fight with the armies.
Okay. So that will be our groups then. We are gonna Elliston and Ergrin are going to stay behind. They will work with the armies to be able to heal people as the war rages, to sort of try to give at least some help there on the battlefront. Sir Tasselhoff Burfoot, what are we doing with him? Are we taking him with us, or is he going to lead the Kender into battle?
Leading the Kender into battle.
All right.
Along with Gus Blunderbuss.
I was gonna say, I think Blunderbuss is out there, isn't he?
Yep,
Yeah.
he is.
They'll ride together side by side.
Okay. Who else?
Singing, as it were. Side by side.
And I think that's all of our NPCs that we have left, right? Gilthanus is going to be with the elves.
Where's Flint, you said?
What'd you say?
Where's Flint going, did you
Flint
say?
is going with the merchants.
Merchants, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's everybody. So the council disbands unless you have anything you want to say or ask the council.
Is your name Rockhound?
Rockhound?
Sir Rockhound, Iron Rock.
Who are you talking to?
Looks at Sedge's character.
Oh, that's Rick Cordwood.
Yeah.
Do you stamp the valet thing?
Oh, we don't validate parking here.
Times are tough. We are at war.
So the blue guy would like to give a long speech. Everybody can just be seated.
Yeah,
He'll be up there giving it down.
He's giving the speech, and somehow no one's paying attention to it. It's like they don't even hear or see him.
Who's the blue guy he keeps talking about?
Yeah, Chris Andrews says, hopefully you guys divide the clerics up better this time. Yes, we've taken 2 of them, removed them from the playing field, and then just put one with the other dwarves. So that is how we split up our clerics.
Stone Moss is a druid and can technically heal if he needs to.
All right, so yes, we still have one group that has all the healing and one group that has none. Let's see what we've got. We have a wizard, a bard. A bard could see it.
A bard can heal.
And 3 fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Jadek's a fighter. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then in the other group, we have a druid, a ranger, a cleric, 2 fighters, a warlock, and Barum. So, that's not bad. Anyway, the council breaks up. And Lord Gunther.
The blue guy is still giving his speech.
Yeah, no, nobody cares though. That's the funny part. Bromonaut or Chris Andrew, if you're still there, can you get rid of the cheap viewers spam bot in chat? I would appreciate it.
Yeah, that's my spam bot.
Well, then, Chuck, I'd appreciate it if you knock it the fuck off.
Yeah, that's how I get my 2 views.
Thank you, Chris Andrew. Yeah. All right, so Gunther and Sir Earl will approach the group as everybody is sort of figuring, either making introductions to the 2 new knights, and getting their plans situated, and Gunther says, from what we can tell, and didn't want to mention this at with the rest of the council in tow and those bystanders listening, but you heard Sir Earl mention that Takesis is trying to endeavor to come to Kryn from the abyss. That is something that we absolutely cannot happen. We don't know exactly how this is going to be, but we know that somewhere in the temple, as the armies convalesce, she will try to reach this world. We will need to make sure that that does not happen somehow, some way. I wish we could come up with a plan here, but this may need to wait until you see things for yourself. That being said, when planning out your attacks, or however you are going to at least distract the armies, or the leaders of the armies who will be in attendance, that will give us the opportunity, as chaos ensues, to attack with our armies, and ideally defeat them. We have dragons, not as many as they do. We have men, and elves and dwarves, and not as many as they do. So, the more that you can disrupt whatever is going on and distract their leaders, the better we will fare. And again, we cannot allow Takesis to enter this realm.
But whatever she's up to, it'll be at the heart of that evil temple.
Roll me a perception check. Anybody who's near Barum.
Oh,
So the merchant group, probably.
the merchant group. Alrighty.
And as you're
call them the A team.
and as you're doing this, Gunther says, "We could also, as part of the merchant supplies that you'll be bringing in, we can probably create some false bottoms to the chests and crates, and hide some of those Dragon Army mercenary uniforms as well, in case you need those once you are behind enemy lines. Once we get you there, what was your rule? What for perception?
23.
Yeah, 21 for Feldspar.
18.
Not paying the least bit of attention there for
Some
Stamos.
double snake eyes here.
Flint got an 8. Gorell got a 4.
So Burke, Ventelis, and Feldspar. You notice when Gunther is talking about the Queen of Darkness entering Kryn. Barum starts to look very nervous. He's sweating. His hands are shaking. He's trying to hold it together, and hide it. But the three of you do notice this.
Feldspar will take him by the arm and say, "We're all scared, lad. But whatever your backstory is, whatever happened to you, you're a weapon against.
Nobody cares about your backstory.
Yeah, exactly. But you're a
Of
weapon
course they
against
do.
the
It's the
evil.
most important thing. It's what shapes you. It's what makes you you. For example, myself, I come from 1,000 years ago, before the cataclysm began.
Now you're paying attention once it comes to your backstory.
And that's why Stonemaus is the least favorite of the group.
Got the most backstory. That's the problem.
Yeah. He says, "Okay, well, I was going to tell you, but no, you're right. I should keep it to myself."
No, tell us. What are you telling? Speak.
Nobody wants to hear
Speak.
my backstory.
I said I do.
I will agree with Stonemaus once. So tell us what's on your mind. Get it off your chest, because we're going deep into the heart of the enemy territory, to perhaps the darkest place ever, the root of evil, the dark temple.
We need every weapon we can get against her.
So if you got dirt on her, share it.
Whatever it is, speak. Were you involved in helping raise her? Just admit it.
Whoa!
Now
He's a
just
friend.
Let him talk. Don't cut him off.
Silence.
I fear that I am at least somewhat responsible.
Called it.
More than 150 years ago now. Keep in mind, this is a human saying this. I was
I
traveling.
don't see any problem with that. Were you asleep too?
No. I've unfortunately been awake this whole time. I was traveling with my sister through the forest near our village in Naraka when we happened upon a clearing.
You've been to Naraka?
Yes, but many, many years ago. In the clearing, the forest looked as if it had been blasted by lightning. The earth was scorched, and there were ruins scattered around, jutting up from the blackened ground like broken bones, sticking through decaying flesh. We searched the ruins, and I found a piece of stone column that was encrusted with jewels. I know nothing about gemstones, but These looked very valuable, so I knelt beside the fire-blasted stone and brushed away the dirt and filth. My sister knelt beside me. And as I worked, my sister asked me what a beautiful thing was doing in such a horrid place. I could feel the evil, too, hanging over the ruins, but I ignored it and continued on to my work. I took out my hunting knife and started chipping away at the stone around one of the jewels, a radiant green gemstone. My sister begged me to stop, but I wouldn't listen. She said it was a decoration, that I was committing sacrilege, that this place must be sacred to some god. What god? I thought. There are no gods. I tried to explain to her that with these jewels we could make up for the long, hard winter, that we could move to Palanthas and live like royalty. But she would have none of it. She forbade me to continue, and for a moment I could feel something frightening and evil come over me, but the jewels were so beautiful. I decided that my sister was overreacting, and I told her so. Then I went back to work digging out the gem. She grabbed my arm and dug her nails into my flesh to stop me. It hurt, and I grew angry. My vision dimmed, and I felt a suffocating feeling swell inside me. My head was pounding as if my eyes would burst from my sockets. We struggled. I yelled at her to leave me be, and I shoved her hard. She fell against the broken column, and her blood covered the jewels, except for the green gemstone that was now gone. And then the ground split apart. Dark columns rose from the blackened, blasted soil, spiraling into the air. A terrible darkness issued forth. I felt a horrible, burning pain in my chest, and I ran. And I've kept running. And I've never stopped.
You said that was over 100 years ago.
Yes. Somewhere. Go ahead.
No, I said that wasn't that long ago.
No, well.
Indeed, not long at all. Although, how you're still alive, are you a magic?
Garel goes, for a human, that's a very
or?
long time.
Ever since this, when he looks down at the gemstone in his chest, has been a part of me. I cannot die. No matter how often I have tried, this gemstone keeps bringing me back. I was there, for example, in Pax Tharkis, when you, and he looks at Garel and Flint, and that's probably it who was at Pax Tharkis at this point, rescued the refugees. I was one. I was grabbed by another man, a half-elf with auburn hair. He said that he could help me, and as we ran through the gates, large stone boulders crashed down upon us. He died instantly, and I should have as well, but here I am. It is just one example of the many deaths that I've had that did not stick. So 100 years may not seem so long for a dwarf, or for whatever reason you, kind sir, he looks at Stone Moss, but for me, every day has been an eternity.
Garel puts his hand on his shoulder and says, I vote for him in the front line. Ha!
He just gives you a look.
Well, whatever that stone is, we still don't know. We're gonna need it to defeat her, right? We can gather that much.
I don't know, but I fear that removing this stone and the blood sacrifice of my dear sister is what raised this temple, giving the queen access.
We're gonna need you to unraise it.
There's a fair chance you're right, but we'll have to investigate further and find out.
It's an ego.
I don't want to lie to him, and
No, I met him. I think he caused the whole war. I mean, think about his ego.
yeah.
I did not do this on purpose. I was young and I was foolish and I was trying to find a way out for myself and for my sister.
If only your family had a steel plow, it could have melted down into coins.
Yes, well, they didn't. Thanks for rubbing it in.
Well, everybody else does. I mean, I've read the legends. Steel is so plentiful that you tripped over it.
Yeah, well, my family wasn't very wealthy. Even then, we didn't have any steel, okay, buddy?
I'm just saying, you must really have been a bunch of losers.
Yeah,
Everybody
well, we
else had
were, I
steel.
guess.
No, quit being so argumentative and against this
Couldn't you get a
fellow.
steel shovel?
I
mean,
don't
come
know. I
on.
didn't have any steel on me at the time. No.
What about a steel trowel? I mean, come on.
Even that, a trowel. Sure, I had a trowel. That wasn't going to get us out of our mess. Anyway,
I mean,
I'm
a
sorry
whole,
I brought it
whole
up.
economy based on steel. I mean, it's ridiculous anyway.
Yes, well, I didn't create it. Don't blame me.
Also, it's pretty hard to melt steel.
True.
You just chip it off.
I don't... Okay, I don't know how we got into this topic, but I'm sorry I brought it up.
I'm just trying to change so you don't feel so bad.
You're making me feel much worse.
You're a great guy, snazzy dresser.
Thank you. I just kept the clothes that they gave me. Wherever
That
we
green
were.
gem really sets things. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, please don't mention. Please don't mention it. I tried to cover it up, but sometimes my shirt just flies open in dramatic fashion.
It's weird how that wind comes out of nowhere. It just hits you.
Such is my lot in life.
And that plainsman named Riverwind, I mean, his hair was just flowing.
Can we just mention? I've only just met him, but what a guy! What a great guy!
Yeah, he seems great, right?
He really does.
Well, I mean, is he always shirtless?
Ergrin flicks his butt, his cigarette butt, and is just like, I don't like him. And lights up another one.
When he was talking, his pecs were popping.
Yeah, it's like he did it on every other syllable. It was weird,
It's weird.
but enticing at the
It
same
was
time.
effortless, like he wasn't even doing it on purpose. It was
Yeah, no, it was
amazing.
very natural.
Ah,
Do you think that was baby oil he had on, or just the natural glisten of his skin?
I don't know.
Just the natural sweat he worked up in his morning run.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Anyway.
Gunther under his breath says, Ancelon is doomed. Yeah, Bromanard says Riverwind, the first romance model cover, the novel cover model.
Yeah.
Um,
The original Fabio.
So Gunther then says, all right, well, if we've at least come up with, these initial plans, we'll give you a day to prepare and recover, and then set out. I can't tell you again how important this mission is. Without you, we may not win this war.
I'll win it for you.
Good luck. I'd love to come with you, but I've got, so many responsibilities
Stuff and
here.
things,
Yeah,
we
I've
get
got
it.
some.
Let me guess. Bone spurs, flat feet.
Anything else you want to ask Gunther or anybody else in the council?
we get like a DragonLance or something? Those things, those pointy sticks.
Oh, sure, yes. Theros has been working on them. We can provide both the riders of dragons, of course, with lances as well as footman lances for the rest of you. Again, however, we need to make sure that they are secured in the wagons, because once you enter, or as you are entering Naraka, the assumption is those wagons will be checked.
Oh, of course.
We could smuggle them in, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have great experience smuggling. Very good at it.
I mean, if need be, I mean, that man right there points at Gorell as the greatest Dragon Army officer I've ever seen.
And,
Master of
Gorell
deception.
He still has glass in his beard. Yeah.
Gorell nudges Flynn and goes, "You should see me in that Dragon Army armor. I look good."
Yes, well.
He's been in blue and red and green.
He's in all
Looking
the
to complete
colors
the
of
set.
the rainbow.
Is there a black and white set we can just try on today?
All right. Anything else?
Uh,
All right. Well, that is where we end tonight's session. We will pick it back up with one of the groups. We'll figure that one out next time. And then we'll basically go back and forth between the two groups as they make their way to Naraka. Assuming everybody survives the journey, they will meet up there, see what the deal is with the temple, do a little reconnaissance, and come up with their plan to defeat the dragon armies.
what's this word you use? Plan.
I'm just throwing it out there. I know you're not going to do it, and if you do, you're not going to follow it. So, and there we go. So, thank you guys for hanging out with us on D&D Fridays for Atomic Peanut Butter presents DragonLance: Dragons of Truth, Part 1. We will be back next week with Part 2, in which something happens.
Unlike this week where nothing happened.
Well, we got a lot of backstory out of the way. We set the table for the end game, Michael.
We got the groups together. That's
Yes.
Woohoo! Endgame!
Wow, negative Nancy there.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Endgame!
And the funny thing is that so you have these two groups that you could split up any way you want. And you've basically just kept them in the same groups. However, Flint moved from one to the other, and we added a couple of lines. Yeah.
That was not intentional whatsoever.
It wasn't, but that's how it worked
And
out.
we split up the clerics, right? We split up the clerics.
Well, you only
No.
have one real
No.
cleric. The other
Yeah,
ones
well-
you're not bringing with you. We're cutting down our NPCs to 2.
We added a bunch of PCs. We don't need to.
Yeah, we don't need any more
Wait,
NPCs.
wait a minute. Who's the NPCs now?
The only NPCs we have are Flint and Barham. That's it.
Okay.
Whoa. You can't
Main
get rid
character Urgrin? Come on.
Yeah.
Urgrins with the merchants.
No, that's too many people already
No.
with the merchants.
Oh, okay.
He's
So
just a
riding
driver.
dragon.
He's just a permanent driver that slides in just a
He's
little
driving.
fast.
He's driving the porcelain wagon.
If you really want to bring Urgrin along, that's fine. That's up to you. Somebody
Let's
as
send
long
him
as,
with the dragons.
as long as someone plays
That'd be
him,
funny.
then that's fine. Which
Is that
group do you
dragon-
want him to
Is
go?
that
with?
dragon smoking or is that Urgrin again?
I have zero interest in playing him, so
I think Urgrin will jump on a dragon.
All right, that will give them a cleric, I guess. So, all right, for some reason bringing Urgrin along. Okay.
Because
We're trying to rehabilitate his image, all right?
Yeah, Urgrin's come a long way since I took over.
Since Will left and you took him over.
Since I took him over, he's slowly becoming a fan favorite.
And it is,
Right, guys?
yes, it is
No, not you.
very.
I'm not talking to you.
it is very possible that we may have Will for a session here and there as we continue our end game. So that gives him something to play when he comes back. Chris Andrew says 100 bits for cheers, 100 bits for Urgrin. Huzzah! Huzzah!
Huzzah!
So put that on Urgrin's character sheet, Kemchan.
I got it.
And Bromenard says in chat, I'm getting verklempt because my Saturday group finished these modules after 3 years, and now you guys are getting close. We are getting close. Again, my plan is for when we are done to create a Legends game. But we'll see how that works out and how that plays out here, and who is alive and who is dead, to see if it makes any sense to do. But that's my plan moving forward. Once we are done with this, after a little bit of a break, probably. All right. So, with that, for Gaz, Chuck, Michael, Sedgwick, and Kemchan, I am Adam saying goodnight. Be kind to one another. Be safe out there. And we will see you next time on Dragonlance. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye. See you later.